Okay, me too, actually. It's a good point.
Hi, everyone. It's 12 o'clock. My name is Sue Lanzolina, and welcome to our first session of 4 Days, 4 Ways for Your Career Success. Today, I'm joined by Damon Reynolds. Maybe you can give us a little wave there. A senior accounting student who will be my awesome co-host as we talk about his insider view of the Business Career Development Office and our resources. I don't want to give it all away, but he's pretty on top of his game, and he certainly knows what he's doing. So stick around because he has lots of great information to share. So I'm going to get right to it. Damon, the School of Business Career Development Office is designed to assist students with honing their job search skills and how to identify and work towards their career goals, as well as initiating and facilitating employer relationships. Can you tell me how you first came to use our office?
I'd be glad to, Sue. And for everyone joining, thanks for joining. Happy Monday morning for all those who are joining in. So my first venture into the Career Development Office, it was after I had a first year experience class. I was part of the Business Connections learning community, and Sue came in for one of our sessions and presented about all of the different things that the Business Career Development Office had to offer. So you came in to present on all the insider tips on crafting the perfect resume, all the tips and tricks about building your LinkedIn profile, which are very helpful, especially as you go into your application experience. So then I had to make my way into your office, brought my resume, which was the resume I applied for in college. It was a Microsoft template resume, which we quickly decided that needed to be reworked. We went over, just the resume in general, talking through formatting, which is important, action statements, objectives, and the like, which was really helpful in, presenting my resume in the best way going into interviews, interviewing with the big four accounting firms. That was really helpful in preparing that. I also remember following up after another meeting, with the LinkedIn review. We went over how to write a good stellar background intro, as well as displaying different experiences, in the best way that when a recruiter or someone in your network comes to look at your page, they can really be wowed by it, help you get opportunities in the future. So it was very helpful, diving into interviews, with various accounting firms. So yeah.
Amazing. Well, that's great. I'd like to think your interaction with our office was a little bit of a benefit because you also applied and interviewed to work in our office as a career intern. So thank you so much. Where you came to learn, probably in greater depth, the resources that were available to you. Damon, sharing your words. Here we go. Your words. What do you believe to be some of the most meaningful resources we offer?
So I think for anyone that's really willing to come in the office, the most important things you should consider that we offer are practice interviews, as well as resume critiques. Those are kind of the big things in preparing for the interview process, while we also kind of walk you through utilizing Handshake, but also branding yourself on LinkedIn, which are two of the most important things, probably the first steps in going about your job search and career process. So let's start off with practice interviews. They're very important, because the moments leading up to the interview, you know, are very nerve wracking. You can have a lot of stress, and that's especially compounded if you haven't prepared as well. So coming in to meet with someone like Kathy or Sue, yourself, would be really helpful in walking you through the questions that you're going to see. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Tell me about a time you had to do X, Y, and Z. So walking you through and making sure you're ready and that you know what you want to say uh, before the interview is really important, so that when you go in, you talk to recruiters um, and potential coworkers in the future, that you're confident and conversational with what you're talking about. So the other major aspect of the interviewing process that we go over is really presenting a solid resume. As I mentioned before, as you begin to apply to jobs and internships. This is what I like to tell people is it's your first impression. Recruiters typically spend about 20 to 30 seconds looking over your resume. So making a good first impression, making sure the formatting of your resume is good, with margins and fonts and all of that fun stuff. It's really important. Um, our team helps you through this. Making sure you have the correct information, the relevant experiences that you want to really showcase to employers, as well as things like writing headers, objective statements, and making sure you have just all the correct information you need so that when you're going through an application process, when you're getting this to a potential employer at a career fair, that it's the best you can do.
Let's hope that we still will have a career fair in person someday.
I
Yes.
hope so. I hope so. Well, for now, we'll just make sure it's good for those virtual career fairs. So we can also circle back to the beginning of the application process, as I said before, when it comes to LinkedIn and Handshake. Like my first experience with Sue, we'll walk you through getting a good cover photo, headshots, which we offer in person, but just giving you tips at this point on where and how to get the best headshot possible when you're branding yourselves. Um, we also give you tips on finding jobs, because there's also a job portal through LinkedIn where you can find jobs. You pick the city, you pick the type of job you want, entry level, internship. That's really helpful as well. There's a lot of great tools on LinkedIn. That's really the focus of your network. So if you meet someone at career fairs, if you meet someone in all of these networking events, definitely send them a connection. We tell you the best messages to send, the best ways to reach out to people, building that network, really crucial part of your experience. That's not something you can come in and build in one year. It's something that you have to continually maintain, and we're there every step of the way to help you. The final thing when applying is Handshake. That's the main portal we have in applying for internships, especially towards the beginning of your time here, and then jobs further down the line, entry level opportunities. We usually brand this, and it's usually known as a job portal, but there's a lot of other great resources there as well. All of the university sponsored events, our Career Tuesdays, events from the Career Development Office, other areas of campus, they'll have all of these events posted here. And for now, as it's virtual, you can find links. They'll have different resume workshops and interviewing workshops you can find there. You can also use this to learn more about companies. So you can find the company profiles on Handshake. You can see what relevant opportunities they have, where they're located, how many people, just finding out in general. It's a great resource to learn about potential future employers.
Excellent. So you know what, you gave a pretty extensive list of our resources. So now it becomes more of a, because we're in a virtual environment, maybe you can share screens and we can show students how we can access our website and learn a little bit more about how to connect within our office. I think that overarching, it really becomes a situation, because we're virtual, oftentimes what we hear is students don't really know how to reach out to us, don't know how to make an appointment with our office, or basically maybe don't know what resources are generally available. Can we do some screen sharing, and maybe you can give a little 1-2 about that?
I would be happy to. If we just give me one moment, I'll navigate to our website. Basically, I'll just go through all our resources and maybe take a quick look at Handshake as well. Just give me one moment.
Sure.
And it seems we are having an outage at UConn. Perfect timing.
No way. So this is all about the virtual environment, really. So I wonder, an outage at UConn, does this mean, Damon, you're going to make sure that I have to share my screen? Ay, ay, ay.
No, it seems that the website is down.
Aha.
Oh, I've gotten to it. One moment.
So I think this is a really fine example of the things that we've all had to learn and cope with during our virtual experience. And nothing like trying to give a presentation about ways to go ahead and access our office when we certainly are having some issues. But just it just goes to show that these are things that happen to all of us, whether or not it's a recruiter trying to post a position, or whether or not it's an in-person virtual meeting. So I see that we're up and running. Go for it, Damon.
We found it. All right. So this is career.business.uconn.edu. This is the Business Career Development Office's main website. So if you come here, you'll see a lot of the big links to our big events. If you click here, you can go to look at all of our virtual Career Tuesdays. And the great part about having this virtual experience with Career Tuesdays is we can have the links. So if you want to, go learn about any of these companies here, if you missed the session, you can go watch the video links. We record them on WebEx, just like this one will be today, and find out more about who to reach out to, what opportunities exist with these different companies.
I just want to jump in for 1 second here, that these virtual Career Tuesdays are an opportunity not only for the employers to brand themselves with you, the students, but obviously it's a way for you, the students, to be able to brand yourselves with the employers. That being said, the employers oftentimes during these virtual Career Tuesdays will go ahead and put contact information in the chat box. Their direct emails, oftentimes just pertinent information about jobs that are available or ways to succeed in your application process. So I hope that from a student perspective that you utilize these resources and make sure that you can go back and know that you can go back and view them at any point in time. You may find that there's actually additional information that you didn't know was readily available. So sorry,
Awesome.
Damon.
Yes, no, thank you, Sue. That's one of our key offerings here. So it's important to, take advantage of that. And usually in person, it would be in the atrium. We'd have the companies come in, but definitely still a key thing that's going on here. I talked about a lot of the services we offered before: resume critiques, practice interviews, going over LinkedIn, all of those, career offerings. You can schedule a meeting with people like Sue or Kathy or any of our team members, career interns, once we're in person, by going to this link, scheduling an appointment. It'll basically allow you to choose who you want to meet with, and you can request an appointment here. It'll bring you to Nexus. Basically, you'll see, when someone like Sue's availability will be. You can schedule an appointment with them. And I believe our meetings right now are on WebEx. In person, they would be in the Career Development Office in Suite 248. If we go further on, in case you missed it, it's another great virtual thing that's going on this year that we're having is a lot of the companies that people might be interested in are also having events on Handshake. So we're having events, but also these different companies are coming in. So, everyone has busy schedules. It's midterm season, everything going on. Sometimes you really want to see a company and you can't make it. Often we'll have, in case you missed it, we do that, have quick summaries on all of these companies that come in with Career Tuesdays, but also with a variety of companies that come in and have events on Handshake. If we go down a little more, you can just find more resources on sample interview questions. If you're really, someone who wants to review last second, go to sample interview questions and look at different links. There's plenty of places to look for jobs and internships. We highlight Handshake, also LinkedIn, but there are plenty of links here to really look at, places where you might find a job you're interested in. I think that is the big thing on our main page. Another thing I want to walk through again, as we talked about, is Handshake. If we go to, I believe it's Search Husky Career Link and log on to Handshake, this will redirect you to Handshake. And we'll just take a moment to get on. All right, so Handshake recently rebranded. This is where you can find things, jobs, employers, events. So we'll go to jobs first. Say you're looking for an internship in Boston. You basically can choose as many locations as you want, maybe Boston or New York, since we're right in the middle. And then choose an internship. And say you're a finance major you want to do something in banking. So you can type in finance, want to bring the most general terms up, and you can scroll here. As you can see, there's 125 jobs in the area. Uh, Again, a great resource to kind of filter down and really, look into what you want. Click on the jobs and you can apply directly from the link here. It has all the information on these job opportunities. We'll usually bring you out to the company's website, but you can some of these jobs you can apply directly on Handshake, and the recruiters will get back to you. Another great thing here is events, as I mentioned. So a lot of these companies, as you can see, people like Facebook, Goldman Sachs, a lot of these companies will have virtual info sessions on here. And our office also posts, there's plenty of events going on with 4 days, 4 ways, Career Tuesdays. You can find all those on here. So say you want to go to an event, there will usually be a link where you can sign up, see external registration, shows you when the event is, find out all this really good information here. Going to those events is great, and again, expanding your network and meeting not just recruiters but future coworkers as well. So definitely check those out when you can, and check out the In Case You Missed It in our newsletter, which is sent out by the Business Career Development Office every Monday. I believe we just sent out one this morning, so check that out. You can check out the In Case You Missed It. Plenty of job opportunities that we post from LinkedIn and Handshake as well. I think one more good thing to point out on the first page is looking at different companies. So let's just take Henkel, for example. If you're looking at an opportunity, you can find out more about the company. I believe if you go to the specific opportunity, you can find out more about the company down here. Yeah, if you go to show their full profile, say Henkel, my uncle works at Henkel, so we'll go look at what they have, and it'll show the company profile, how many employees work there, what people have to say about the company, how interviews go. And if you scroll down on the right, just more contact information. Say you want a job at Henkel in supply chain or finance or operations, you can see who works there, people who are good to reach out to, as well as any future opportunities they may have. Go to jobs. You can quick apply. This is a great example of you click quick apply. Usually they ask you for your resume, some more basic information, and they'll reach back out to you then.
So
I
I
think
just want
that's,
to,
yeah.
I just want to share a little bit more about Handshake from the perspective that all students' information is uploaded through the registrar's department when they become a UConn student, and everyone has a Handshake profile. It's just up to you, the student, to go ahead and continue to update your profile, just as you would for LinkedIn. So it's going to populate what jobs you are interested in based upon your major and your year of and your academic standing and what year your graduation is. So it's important to go ahead and update that profile on a regular basis. I think oftentimes we hear that students don't know that they have a Handshake account, but everyone has one. So it's just up to you to go ahead and get in there and update your profile. You are allowed to go ahead and upload a resume, and our office makes sure, or would like to make sure, that before you upload a resume that it's fit for employer viewing as well. So yeah, great bit of information.
Yes, and definitely if I could make a couple final points on Handshake with that profile, I can scroll in here. Very important to keep updated, because if you put, include all of your information, you'll get to put My Journey, which is basically an objective statement, more about your GPA, college and work experience. When recruiters and potential employers are scrolling through Handshake and maybe they're looking for someone at UConn, or maybe they're looking for an accounting major, if they look at your profile and they see all of the experiences you have, all of your interests, potential industries where you want to work, they'll typically reach out to you. Like if I updated my Handshake profile a couple times in the past, and if you go up to messages here, you'll get all these messages from companies talking about opportunities, talking about different events they're hosting, jobs that they're posting in certain areas that you wouldn't necessarily be, I guess, keen to find or, able to find. But reaching out to them here is also a great way to connect. Also connect on LinkedIn. If we can, I can just show the LinkedIn, the jobs function real quick. Because
Sure.
that's
And while you're doing that and uploading the LinkedIn, I just want to give a shout out that this afternoon at 3 o'clock, we're actually, another one of our sessions is the handshake myth. It's not just a job board. So that will be at 3 o'clock, and that will be with Kathy Hendrickson and I believe perhaps a recruiter from the Hartford. So it's another very important 4 days, 4 ways session that will provide an even broader overview of Handshake. So I encourage you, if you're listening now, to tune back in at 3 o'clock for additional information regarding that. So have
definitely
at it.
because
And
we
we will be doing another session as well. Sorry, Damon, we'll be doing a session as well for LinkedIn. Really what we wanted to be able to do in this particular session is just make sure that students know that there's an overview and what programs and resources our office goes ahead and offers. And obviously one of the things that we review on a regular basis is LinkedIn. So without further ado, go ahead. Sorry, Damon.
definitely, and we're just scratching the surface here. So there's a lot. I probably still don't even know about LinkedIn, don't even know about Handshake to go over. So stay tuned in as well. But the great thing about LinkedIn that I discovered not too long ago was the jobs function. Basically, you can, similar to Handshake, search what kind of job you want, search, where you want that job. So say I want to do operations in Boston. It'll come up with a bunch of great opportunities as well. Definitely want to select entry level or internship, depending on where you want to go. And it'll show all of the opportunities in that area, basically the requirements you need, the skills, and what they're looking for in different applicants. So again, another great resource to check out. It's very similar to Handshake, whereas you can apply, directly from the company's website. Just another way. As you can see, there's tons of results. So, um, you know, making sure you cover all your bases, checking out LinkedIn and Handshake is a very good tool as well. So, yeah.
Mm. So great information, and thanks for sharing, essentially what your view of the Business Career Development Office is and how you've utilized the resources. I do think that perhaps being a career intern has allowed you the opportunity to maybe have a little bit of a deeper dive. So I appreciate you being able to share with that. I think that, the student-to-student perspective is so meaningful, and you certainly provided a wonderful overview of resources and how to obtain them and how to use them. So as I mentioned in the very beginning of the session, that you're on top of your game. So thank you so much. I just want to make sure that I
Thanks.
give you a big shout out, Damon. So as a graduating senior, we'll be sad to see you go, but your hard work is paid off. And I'm happy to report that Deloitte is lucky to have you working in their tax department in the Boston office. So we'll be sad to see Damon go, but that is also a little plug for our office to know that, yay, he's off and going
Yes.
to big things in the Boston
Yes.
office.
Time to
So
pass the torch.
time to pass the
Yeah.
torch. Yes, yes. So I know that these are quick little 30-minute sessions, and we really could have gone in much deeper dive, but I do want to go ahead and say that this session of 4 days and 4 ways for your career success is over. And thanks for joining us. And thank you, Damon, for joining me today and sharing your tips for connecting with our office. I just want to remind people to join us for our next 4 days session, which is at 1 o'clock, and that's with Mick. Mick, maybe you can give us a little hand wave. And he's going to be talking about the how and the why of the resume. So let's just tune in then at 1 o'clock. Looking forward to it. If anyone has any questions, I'm on for a few more minutes. We're just going to go ahead and stop recording, but tune in for 1 o'clock and stay tuned. If you have any questions, stay with me. Thanks.